In the mix with
Hello?
This is Adam Scholey reporting for Rock On Webzine. I'm joined on the line now by Professor Green, well on his way to household namedom. You may remember last year's I Need You Tonight sampling In Excess, very high charter there, and also Just Be Good to Green featuring Lily Allen. So Professor Green, how on earth are you today?
I'm warm, you know. I just come back into London from a short break in the Cotswolds, and it's meant to be about 25 degrees, and I'm walking around in a long sleeve bloody Ralph Lauren rugby top. That's how I feel at the moment. Hot.
Now, I think I should probably ask you this fairly early on.
Yeah.
How would you like me to address you? Should it be Professor or Pro Green or Stephen, obviously your real name?
You can call me whatever you like, as long as it's nothing offensive.
Within reason.
Yeah, just don't call me Steve. I flipping hate Steve.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Brilliant. So for anyone who isn't quite familiar with the Prof, just give us a brief idea, sort of what you do, who you are, why the name as well.
Oh, the name, keen horticulturalist. As a kid, I got given the nickname by a friend, a teenager actually. And who am I? I'm a song-stealing, plagiarising bastard who talks quite fast over rhythmic tracks.
Well, it seems to sell quite well, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, I tend to stick to the plan, mate.
Excellent. So your genre is actually one of the hardest to pinpoint, but how would you describe it yourself?
I just make music. I know that's kind of an obvious thing to say, but primarily I'm a rapper. I do write most of the vocal parts of my songs as well, but I tend to sing within range, which is very narrow. So as not to offend people, I get other people to sing the bits that I can't sing. But I listen to so many different types of music, which I think is quite evident in the first album.
You actually fell into rapping accidentally, didn't you? Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I was just at Cause House, and everyone was just freestyling and messing around, and I got put on the spot, and I rapped the lyrics, and everyone was like, what, you can rap? I was like, nah, man, don't make me do that again. All red in the face and whatever, but I just started messing around with it from there, really.
And how exactly do you freestyle? I mean, is there a process, or does the words just tend to come to you? How does it work?
You just kind of follow where the rhyme takes you, really. Once you've spat the first line, you kind of just have to follow it on from there. I don't really write much of my stuff when I'm in the studio. The only time I'll write something down now is if I need to, because I have no means of recording it.
Oh, I see.
For me, it comes easier that way. If I sit down and try and write things, I'm too anal about things, it doesn't come as naturally and stuff.
Ah, right, okay. So, I mean, going back to the very, very beginning, you realised it was something that you liked to do, and that you're obviously quite good at it. Was it your decision to enter rap battles, or was that something that your family and peers encouraged you to do?
I was walking through somewhere and I saw a poster for this MC battle called Lyric Pad, which was held at what used to be Obar in Camden.
Right.
And I just thought, why not go down there? And went down there with my people and entered a battle, and I come out on top of that one.
Fantastic.
I ended up at the jump off, and that was where I really made a name for myself.
Is it the sort of thing that you've ever offended anyone over?
Yeah, I hope so.
You hope so.
If I've done it properly.
Brilliant. Some of it looks quite no holds barred, and obviously I've seen some of the clips online, and some of it looks like it's quite scathing and quite harsh.
Yeah, but you know, I've had some fairly horrible things said to me, so it goes both ways. You know, it's like boxing. You don't get in a boxing ring expecting for someone not to hit you hard. You know, there's no politeness. You kind of leave that outside of the ring and get on with it.
Fair point. Now, was there ever a point where you actually thought, okay, this has got to keep progressing and this is going to develop into a career for me, it's inevitable?
Definitely not. Until I met Mike, actually. Mike spoke of, his record label and was talking about making some music.
That's Mike Skinner, is that right?
Yeah, Mike Skinner. Yeah, I guess that was the first point where any of those kind of thoughts come into my head. Yeah, I signed to his label and that didn't go amazingly.
That actually came to an end in December 2007, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then it took me until October 2008 to actually get out of contract and be able to make and release music again.
You've had quite a varied start then. I mean, at times it must have seemed like it might not be going anywhere, and then other times were obviously better than others. And
yeah, it's been up and down, but it is what it is. I think you kind of have to expect that, you know?
Sure.
You hope for the best, time for the worst. No career is easy, and this is probably one of the least predictable.
Crazy. Just be good to me. Just be good to me.
Just be good to Green. All I need is a woman to be good to me.
Two of your biggest hits, they sample In Excess, and you've got the SOS Band sample as well. I think you touched on it a little bit earlier about plagiarising that.
Yeah.
Does that tend to influence your songwriting at all, or does it help or hinder to have someone else's work?
With those, it was just two songs that I really loved. Sorry, I'm just getting accosted on the road.
Oh, right. That's fine.
Don't Be Good To Me was one of my favourite childhood songs, and that was how that come about. And when I mentioned having cleared the rights to Lily was when she come on board, because it was also one of her favourite songs from when she was young.
Oh, right. Fantastic. Brilliant.
The collaboration with Lily led to, you know, a really good friendship. That was, you know, a massive step for me. You know, she really gave me a hand up. You know, a lot of hard work and a little bit of luck can get you a long way.
Did you ever think you'd be playing at Wembley Stadium?
Oh, what, when I come out with Lily? No. 75,000 people, you know, it wasn't bad.
That's not to be sniffed at.
It was cool because at that point, you know, the song had been out and the reception was really good. It shows what kind of heart Lily has, you know, because everything she done for me, she done with no ulterior motives. You know, she done with no personal benefits. It was just out of the goodness of her heart, which I think takes quite a lot. There's a lot of people in this industry have egos. They get a little something for themselves and they kind of don't want to share it, you know. They don't want to share that limelight, whereas Lily was, you know, just always really, really accommodating.
Sure.
Yeah, she's wicked, man. And I Need You Tonight was massive for In-Excess, you know. I try and put my own twist on things, you know.
No, definitely.
Michael Hutchins was a hell of a lot cooler than I was. So my twist was very different.
Your first album, then, A Life Till I'm Dead, there was a massive buzz around that album. So you gained so much mainstream ground for you. Do you feel it helped you grow as an artist?
It definitely helped me grow as an artist, you know. It's especially with just what it's enabled me to do touring-wise, interview-wise, how I conduct myself. The last year has been a whirlwind.
Do you write about experiences that you've had yourself or from your childhood?
I just write about whatever kind of comes into my head. Obviously, that's mostly going to be stuff that I've been through. I've been through enough, good and bad, to kind of have quite a good bank, you know, to withdraw from.
What would you say to people who actually compare you to Eminem?
It's flattering, I suppose. I suppose that's the best way to take it. I think it's a little bit ignorant sometimes. It's so obvious, like, yeah, he's white and he raps, but my biggest influence would be Biggie. Biggie and Jay are my favourite rappers. Biggie was the first person I started listening to when I was 10 or 11 years old.
Right, as far back as that?
Yeah, I suppose people might relate my humour to Eminem, but then it's like, I don't know, I'm English, you know, but I'm all for kind of being able to laugh at myself. That's something very true to us as a nation. But I don't ever get me wrong, I'm just as happy to laugh at other people.
You got to have the rough and the smooth there, the give and the take. Brilliant.
Yeah, balance, man, balance.
I'll give you everything you'll ever need, 'cause no one's gonna mess with me, I'm a monster.
No so frontish, not from me, not pro, no. Me, my flow so pit, Quasimodo with the dick bigger than both my legs. It looks like a...
Do you tend to work with these people actually in the studio, or have you ever had to record separately from them due to schedules and things?
With Monster, with Example, we had to record separately, but that was just because we were both so busy. I literally went to the studio, recorded my part, and we already had the chorus, and I thought, you know what, Elliot is sound wicked on this. So I phoned him, and he was coming back into London that day, and he literally had that one evening before I had to deliver my album. So he shot down to the studio to record it with Mo Jam, and the next day we had an entire song.
Was he involved with Mike Skinner's label as well? Is that how you met?
Yeah, we met from there.
So let's talk a little bit about the tour then. You're on the road with N-Dubz.
Yeah, I've seen him about over the last year. I went in the studio with them recently, actually. We got a song that was nearly finished. And I just think they got a wicked vibe, man. What they've done, you know, they built everything themselves. You know, I remember seeing their videos on Channel U, and it was Channel U. And you just say, you only have to look at their consistency, you know, they haven't stopped. A triple platinum album is nothing to be ashamed of, is it?
No, definitely not. Now, you come into the BIC in Bournemouth. Have you ever been to Bournemouth before or anywhere down south?
Yeah, last year I'd done 2 PAs at Bournemouth. I'd done an under-18s and an over-18s, and surprisingly, the over-18s were even rowdier than the under. Yeah, you don't get that much. That was a shock.
Are you going to be making the most of the sea and the beach while you're down here as well at all?
Well, if this weather continues, I might just be.
Brilliant. We got a surf reef. I don't know if you surf at all, do you?
Yeah, I didn't really get the opportunity growing up in Hackney.
Fair enough. Maybe you could give it a go while you're down here. Who knows? Okay, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you.
All right, then, mate. I'll see you in Bournemouth.
No worries. Take care, mate.
Wicked. All right, then, fella. Take care, mate. Bye.
No one's gonna mess with me, I'm a monster.